This time the quick speed shop, I got all my parts back from the Sandblaster. I got them in here with a flash coat of primer on them so they don't rust. But let's go back in time. I'll show you unloading them out of the back of the truck. I'm a professional. Don't try this at home. Look at this. Here's a grill shell. I got some Swiss cheese at the bottom. The rest of it came out nice. Rear sedan fenders. I actually bought pickup fenders the other day to swap meet, so I'm just going to prime these and throw them up in the attic and hang on to them. Not for this project anymore. Got the frame covers here. All mint and ready to rock and roll. Yes. Uh-oh. All three running boards. This one's going to be the parts one because it's full of Swiss cheese. The other two don't look too bad. Here comes the box. The box is mint. There wasn't any rust holes in the box. The only damage on the bottom I cut off and already fixed. So this thing's ready to prime and to keep it from flash rusting. This is sandblasted, and you've got to get primer on it right away, like within a day or two, or else if there's moisture in the air, it'll start to flash rust. So I'm going to try to get some primer on all this stuff here, like tonight or tomorrow. So the box is mint. The frame covers here, they had a little bit of heavy duty pitting, but that came out decent. They're all ready to rock and roll. I get primer on these, but the big problem is my running boards. I had 3 cheapo junk running boards I bought for like $5–10 a piece, and they're all pretty pitted real bad. They got a ton of Swiss cheese in them, but all 3 of them are really heavy rusted. So I'm a little nervous about using those. I might end up building my own new running boards because I had 3 because I got to lengthen both sides. So I was gonna use the 2 best ones for the main boards and then use the 3rd parts one to lengthen them. But they're all pretty rough. So I'm not sure. Might be more work trying to fix them than just build new ones. So I got to see what I want to do with that. And then, like I said, the rear fenders, they're sedan fenders, and I was going to have to heavily modify those. And they're in really rough shape. And in the meantime, I found some really reasonably priced pickup fenders. So I'm not going to use those. I'm just going to throw a little bit of primer on them and throw them back up in the attic for future action. But I'm super excited with what I got here. It came out good. I'm happy with it. It took a little bit longer than it was supposed to get the stuff back, but now it's back and I can ready to rock and roll. I got parts to keep working on this truck. Alright, now this is just like a roadkill where we do the right things the wrong way. So I've masked off the bottom of the grill where I got to do some rust repair. I don't want to get primer on that yet. And what I got here is I got rattle can Epoxy Primer that I bought at the auto part paint store. What is it? It's 2K Epoxy Primer in beige 3680032. So it's got a plunger on the bottom. I've got to open this up, take this tool down here on the bottom, and you've got to plunger it in and mix the epoxy into itself somehow. Let's see. Shake it for 2 minutes. I did that. Take the red top, put it on the bottom, put it upside down, and push down, and shake it for 2 more minutes. guess it punctured something. I'm going to hold it. I'll mix it up for 2 minutes and we'll spray it. Just like Elvis, it's all shook up. I've never used this before, but I bought it for another project and it doesn't last forever, so I got to use it up. Once you puncture the bottom, you've got a certain number of working days. I can't remember if it says on it, but it's not very long. 36 hours I think it says. No, 4 days. You got 4 days once activated. So here we go. I got my respirator on backwards. Don't know how that happened. So my important parts here, the parts that are going to be nice, I'm going to use the epoxy primer on the grill shell, frame covers, and the box. I've got 2 cans of this. I'm not sure how far it's going to go. And the rest of the stuff I'm just going to use regular Radel can primer. But the important stuff, I want to get the epoxy primer on it. So here we go. I'm running low on epoxy, so what I did is I hit all the spots that are real critical, like inside the fender well, attachment, all that, up on all the seams in the bed. I hit that with a good coat. I kind of just like fogged it on the rest of the outside here, and I did this on both sides. Now the inside of the box is I'm putting a red primer on it because I hit the seams on the inside, same thing, but I'm painting the inside red primer. So I'm working on that. I'm not going to show you too much more because I don't want the epoxy to get on the lens of the camera. The stuff sticks to everything. That's why I got plastic going on in here. I'm going to hit all this, hit the rest of this, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Alright, I used up all my epoxy, but I got it on the parts I wanted to get it on. Got a good guide coat on everything over here and then on the box. Then I just took some Rust-Oleum rattle can primer, and I rattle canned the rear fenders, and I rattle canned all the running boards because I'm probably not going to use any of them. I know I'm not going to use the rear fenders because I got the actual pickup fenders now, so they're going to go back up in the attic now. They won't rust, but they're real rough. But at least, you know, my sandblasting won't be wasted on them. Same thing with the running boards. I'm saving those for parts. They're good for pieces now. They're real rough too, so I'll throw all that stuff up in the attic for later. But this is looking good. I'll let the epoxy set up overnight, and then I can start working on it. The frame covers I can just scuff up, and I hit with another coat of red oxide primer, and then paint them the flat black. They don't need any more work. They're ready to go. And a couple other little pieces, I can get all that stuff painted and set aside and ready for assembly. But the box, let's go over and look at that. The box is looking good too. Like I said, I fogged all the seams, the critical areas with epoxy primer first. And then the big flat areas I hit with the Rust-Oleum red oxide primer. The whole inside of the box is on the sides. All the big flat sheet metal I hit with the red oxide, but all the seams and all the important points I hit with the epoxy primer. So all this stuff's going to dry overnight, and then we can start reassembling the process. All right, here we go. It's a couple days later. I let the primer dry and I assembled everything up on here. I've actually got my fender bolted onto the box, but it's super low. You can see where the tire is. I'm going to make some spacers. So I'm going to have to raise these fenders probably about 2.5 inches because it's almost touching the tire now. Then I've got about 2.5, 2 3/4 inches worth of suspension travel on the back. So I'm going to raise the fender the equal amount, so when the rear end touches the bump stops on the frame, they'll still be like 1/4 inch to the tire, to the fender clearance, but I want to keep the fenders as low as possible. So I got to do that, but the box looks good on here. I got the grill shell thrown up on the front, but it's nice to have everything back in nice rust-free shape. So now I can start working on, I'll probably start fixing the grill shell and then get the mounts made for the box and get this thing ready to knock some dents out of it, get it painted up, get the gas tank mounted up in it, and then I'm going to work on the fenders and all that later. But we're getting the home stretch here, putting this thing back together for the final time, so I'm getting excited. It snowed like 8 inches outside the other night, hoping for spring. Want to get this truck on the road as soon as possible. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'm putting out new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Hit the bell for the alerts, tell your friends, and we'll see you right back here at the Quick Speed Shop for more working on the Model A Hot Rod Shop Truck.